I'm going to go for a traditional. Grotesque Demise or 20 gems out of the first pack. We already have 4 of the Mirror Match. Or Mirror March, sorry, not Mirror Match. Grim, you seem excited about this as though it's a playable. Grave, we might have misplayed getting there, but I don't know. I had reasons for everything I did, at least. I'm going to take the gems here, but I don't think we're playing it. I love the design of Mirror March because it's a story card. It sets up unlikely stories, but enough people are going to play it enough times that some fantastic Magic stories are going to come out of that card. I think that's a thing you want to try and have in every Magic set is some cards that are not super powerful, but produce super crazy effects that are going to make some gamers happy. Blade Juggler is the most popular pick here. Frilled Mystic is probably the most powerful card, but it's the most demanding. Blade Juggler is the most flexible. So I'm down with the Blade Juggler pick. Second Juggler over first Demise. I think, yeah, we'll just, we're going to try and start juggling here. Well, nothing here really goes with this pack at all. You take Gates Ablaze, but Gates Ablaze is not exactly the card you want to add to 2 Blade Jugglers. We can take the most powerful card here, though, and be prepared to abandon 2 Blade Jugglers or play them as weird 5-drops in a Gate deck. So it's not that you can't take the Gates Ablaze here. It's just that it's not great with what we're doing so far. Footlight Fiend is a little more along the lines of what we're doing so far, but it's also probably going to wheel, and I don't value it highly enough to take it here in this spot. I would rather hedge towards Chillbringer or Gates Ablaze and see where the packs take us from there. So no Footlight Fiend. We're going to try and wheel the Footlight Fiend if we're still in a Rakdos or Orzhov type situation. That's the other thing. I didn't really say, call out the Orzhov possibility. We could just take Twilight Panther or Forbidding Spirit and be more towards an Orzhov direction. It's just those are... I really don't like the Forbidding Spirit. I tend not to play it. It's a really oppressively costed 3/3 that doesn't tend to do too much. And a Twilight Panther is another card that tends to wheel. So I'd rather just take a powerful Nanbo with Blade Juggler here and see what else comes down the way. Would I play Gates in an aggro Rakdos deck? Probably not. That's what I'm thinking. Like, for the same reason I don't play Cry in the deck. And hold on, let me get to the draft view. Get out of your way a little bit. Can't believe we went 1 and 3 with that deck. Oh my god. Magic. So where are y'all at? You want to try the Gate? We'll take Gates Ablaze, and we could end up in a spot where we're playing it. At the very least, if you've resolved Jugglers, you've gotten something out of them. So if you Gates Ablaze, it's not that big a deal. And then here, I just like taking another Gate payoff. Then we'll see if we end up in a gatey direction. I should be looking at uncommon print runs. That was bad. What's around? Let's look up the Angel at least. I can glance. No, I missed it. Looking at my tape delay, trying to see if I could see what other uncommons were in the pack. Maybe looking up the print run will remind me. The Angel... Oh, Swirling Torrent was in the pack, right? So Junk Troller or Senate Guildmage. Looks like Senate Guildmage was taken out of the previous pack. So we can take a Gate here or a third Juggler. I'll take third Juggler. We still might not be a Gates deck. We could take the Thrall here, or the Inheritance even, and head towards... solidly towards Orzhov. I think that's what we're doing here. Do we want Inheritance number 1 or Thrall number 1? Probably Thrall number 1 for an Orzhov deck, don't you think? Inheritance is fine, but I think we can get another one of those, and Thrall is just what you want in an Orzhov deck. Let's also check Wall of Thoughts, see what's around that. Wall of Lost Thoughts has a Code of Constraint, Senate Guildmage on either side, and then outside of that you have Gruul Beastmaster and Archway Angel. So, looks like more Azorius going on upstream. Pretty close voting, but I'm going to Thrall it. Bladebrand, Revels, or Panther are the picks here. And we'll take first Revels with all these Jugglers. Grudian is fine here over the 4-drop, and Code of Constraint Wall is exactly where we were before, so Senate Guildmage. I think all the Senate Guildmages in the world have been opened and taken upstream. We could take a Scavenger here over Grudian. But Grudian just, yeah, I'm with you all. We're more Grudian than Scavenger. This leaps out as an on-color gold card, but the other cards here are actually better. Expose and best 2 of 3. Oh, let's make that change to what's going on here, so people know that we are best of 3 drafting, not best of 13, Ryan, best of 3. And our record... Ugh. 1 and 3. What do you think? All about Panthers? Yeah, I'm with you with Blade Juggler. I'm gonna get those Trips Blade Jugglers underway. Here's another Cry, or the Cry, Wield, but we can take a Vampire or a Scavenger. We're super stacked at 3 right now, but not obscenely so. So we can take another Vampire. I'm hoping to pick up more Dead Revels, and we're playing best 2 of 3. Both of these have applications, especially out of the board, but I'm going to take the Scavenger as a great answer in a Dead Revels type deck to enchantment-based removal. Twilight Panther again. Transport could easily make the cut. This one less so. All Panthers, all Jugglers. We have an Incubation Druid that is a straight 20 gems, but Mortify is amazing. If we were at, like, let's say the Mortify wasn't here, like, replace this with basically any other non-white or black card, and we snap up those 20 gems. But Mortify is good enough that I'm going to take it. Partly, it might even be just because of fun. I think you could probably make a math argument that the EV on Incubation Druid at 20 gems is still superior to the EV of gems by adding this Mortify to this deck. But it's about as good as we could hope for, and will certainly make for some better TV to have in our deck, so we're going to take it. Vindictive Vampire, fantastic for the deck as well. We want, really to fix our 2s, we want all the Grandmas we can get, but I'm going to start with the Vampire, and we'll try to pick up some Grandmas. We seem like we found our lane to the point that it would not shock me if the Oligarch came around. The trouble is there's no other white card, and there's going to be only a Bladebrand in the deck, so if there's any other bot that's in Orzhov, they'll probably end up with this card. So we'll find out. We'll see. If this comes back to us, I think it says we're the only Orzhov drafter, because the only other card an Orzhov drafter would consider out of this pack is the Blade Brand. Do I believe that the bots draft archetypes? It depends on what you mean by that. An archetype implies often more than color pair. An archetype can be something like Clear the Mind, which can be Esper or Azorius, or it can be, you know, the Gates deck, right? Bots do not draft the Gates deck or Clear the Mind decks, or even Lieutenant. What's the from the Ixalan, the Legion Lieutenant or Legion? Yeah, the go get any one number of copies of these from your deck creature. Like, the bots do not draft those successfully, but the bots do settle into color pairs and stick with them. So yes, it's very, because the whole point of the bot system, again, is that not everybody knows this about me. Some people just have shown up and are watching some Magic, but I spent 7 years at Wizards of the Coast. I spent 4 years of that, 4.5 years of that in R&D, Magic R&D, and 2.5 years of that on the Magic Arena team as a systems designer and content designer, and I did the initial work on the draft bots. They've done a lot since I've left, but just to clarify where I'm coming from on this. So the point of it is to make sure that signals do matter, and that that bots do settle into, at the very least, color pairs. And the system is set up where if they want to, they can add stuff. They could. It's all just time and effort. If Wizards wanted to make bots draft the Gate deck and draft whatever, you know, Clear the Mind decks, they could program a bot personality to care about the cards. You could make a Bill Stark draft bot and have it draft like Bill Stark. And if any WotC employees are watching right now, they're laughing, and the rest of you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But I don't think the bots do that, but they do settle into color pairs. Yeah, let's take the Grotesque Demise here over the Judgment. Bill Stark. Bill Stark is a Wizards of the Coast employee known for his very specific style of drafting. Every set has dual lands, I think. Basically, yeah. Of some kind. Maybe not every. There's always rare lands. Not necessarily all of them are a dual land cycle, but I would say the vast majority of sets have a 5-card rare dual land cycle. Depose, deploy. Nah, we just want either final payment. Let's take the final payment here and see if we can't wheel this Revels. All the jugglers are on our team, and we like it. We're a little overburdened at 3, but I'm not going to pass a Demise here. We need 2s. We're going to really focus on 2s from here. We have 3 Panthers that are somewhat bailing us out on the 2 front. I'm going to take Thrall number 2 over Final Payment number 2 and continue to be happy about our lane. And here's a Final Payment number 2 that I will take over a Sentinel's Mark number 1. Trumpeter just fine. It's not great if we end up with a Rakdos land. We can take this Skewer and try and splash. Wow. But really, Trumpeter with 4 jugglers is just fine. And we have 4 jugglers and currently 3 creatures that maybe trigger them for us. So we really need to get our juggler enablers. And that's going to be a main focus. We're gonna make a lot of weird picks if we at this point, if we get good 2-drop attackers over, you know, I'll take another Trumpeter over a 3rd Thrall at this point, for example. The Blade Brand came back and the Grammon didn't, so there's probably one other Orzhov drafter at the table. Revels did come back, though. Fantastic. Veteran. You're never making the cut with the 3s that we have. Look at this 4x4. This is the wrong 4x4. How about if this were four Plague Whites, this would be the best draft, best deck I've ever drafted, I think. Almost Zilcho for us here. We can wheel this, wheel the Zeal. We're going to wheel the Zeal or the Imp, and we're going to snap up 20 gems here. Those of you suggesting things like Fire Wheeler and Imp, come on. This is the free-to-play account. We got to gem it up. We're hoping to be Orzhov aggro. I just want Grandmas. All I want is just Grandmas from here. Not a 5th Panther. Why can't this be a Grandma? In fact, we probably just want a Messenger or a Senate Griffin here over a literal 5th Panther, despite... I mean, I do want to turn on these jugglers. Gosh, the sentences you say while playing Magic. But not with Panthers. Context-free Magic quotes. I do want to turn on these jugglers, but not with Panthers. Yeah, Panther wheels anyway. You're right. So then the question is Messenger or Griffin? What do y'all think about that? Well, you're on the Messenger plan? Yeah, of course we are. We got Dead Revels and that kind of thing. I'm just like eagerly searching every pack for this exact mana cost, but with a 2/1 down here. Well, final payment number 3, which is pretty oppressive, or yet another 3-drop, or a Guild Gate. We can just take a Guild Gate, fix our mana here. It's not like we don't have the playables, it's just that we don't have the exact playables we want, and none of these represent the playables we want. Yeah, I'm on third gate. I'm going to call upon the magic gods to provide me with quality Orzhov 2-drop creatures from here, please. Okay, this isn't quite it, but yes. This kind of qualifies. This is what I want over Panthers at this point. I mean, you know I want Grandmas, but Enforcer's fine. Gotta love the atheist praying for magic results. Rally to Battle could be a weirdo little thing to run here, but I'm getting sad because we're running out of fresh packs to look at. Expose, you want an Expose to Daylight? We could take Expose to Daylight. That's probably a more serious card than the fun Rally. Another Gate, but this is not a Grandma, but qualifies as the Desperation 2-drop that we're in the market for. This actually does pretty reliably turn on our 4 jugglers. No, we are in 2 of 3. Now this is kind of laughing at us about what kind of 2-drops we're willing to play here, but we will probably play it. We are that kind of aggro, so I think we've found the deck for a stupid 3/1 2-drop. Panther number 5 or District that we've already benched District number 1. I don't think any of these matter. I actually think Scrabbling Claws for Vault Progress is the pick here. Drill Bit for board could have been a reasonable pick there too. Do we want a Crocodile for the board? 7 toughness, not bad out of the board, although I don't think your answer, you know, with a deck like ours, we shouldn't be thinking along the lines of, aha, the way we're going to beat Gruul is to drop 3 7s. No, the way we're going to beat Gruul is to just get there before they kill us. Vampire and Expose. So yeah, a second Expose for the board, or a Vampire, which can also be a pretty useful board option. But again, we're so heavy on 3-drop creatures. Or maybe we aren't. Let's see, we have 4 We only have 5 3-drop creatures, but we have a lot of plays. So actually, probably the vampire is fine. Tekken Shaman wants second daylight for the board. I understand. I kind of want first vampire for the board. Here we go. There's your second expose for the board. And we even get a Locket if we want it, but this doesn't really feel like a Locket deck. We might be playing these, but probably not. Probably looking at this as our starting point. Then we make some cuts, you know. Cut at least like 2 of the kitties. And then we're at 25, needing to cut a couple more. Yeah, this is not a Locket deck. So Portal could be a sideboard card against enchantment removal, but that's what we're bringing in other stuff for. I don't think we're bringing in any of this stuff, so we'll get that. Here's the rally that we can consider. $40 gem grind on draft number 2 today. Make that note real quick here. Thank you for your patience. Yes, we got the vault. Now, we'll do that later, I guess. Let's build the deck first. $17 creatures. This is definitely going to be called Juggling Cats. It's kind of like herding cats, but even harder. Deck looks super solid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like super clean removal spells, some death touch. Where are we at again? We're at 17-8. Maybe cut a Carrion Imp. Blade Brand seems good around in this deck. Could even cut... Could cut a land and try to make this a little more streamlined. We've only got the 2 5s. No card drawing, though. So it's a little greedy to go to 16 on this one. Oni looking out for me. It's true. I can also... You like Imp over Messenger? Why is that? You think 2 life is more important to this deck than Relentless Pressure? Yeah, it's true. We have 4 card draw spells. Yeah, I like the idea that this dies into a 1/1 as opposed to this this just getting us a couple life when we're trying to apply the life total pressure. Eric Louis, you don't like Vindictive Vampire. I think this is one of the stronger cards in the deck, actually. Yeah, that's interesting about the Trumpeter, but I'm pretty obsessed with getting these jugglers activated. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't want to drop below. I want 7. I don't want to go below 7 enablers for jugglers. Oh, I see, Eric. Yeah, like you said so many great things. I was like, why does Eric not respect the vampire? It's like, okay, good. Third Panther over Pegasus. Maybe that is right. Okay. It also supports this name more, so, you know. Well, the 1-3 versus the 1-2 is not as relevant as the flying versus not, right? But usually if they force the trade, it's okay, right? Like you should be happy with that as well, that you're trading your 1 for their presumably, well, you're at that point paying 2. So you've paid 2 mana for their 2 or their 3 or whatever. Oh, sure, we're on different, yeah. I thought we were talking about this, sorry, the 1-3 versus 1-2 was what I thought we were talking about. All right, let's get this deck finished. I think I just want to cut something from here as opposed to considering anything else. We have some Death Touch. We could just cut the Blade Brand. It's sneaky and fun or whatever, but it's whatever. We've got, especially putting back the Panther, we now have 4 Death Touchers. It removes our ability to Death Touch in the air, but I think I want to start here. No Grandma. No Grandma. Boo. Such a great deck for Grandma. If we could have found some. No. Do you want to throw in the Miser's? I worry about the Miser's Mountain disrupting. Although you have a Guild Gate, we could put in 1. You want to put in a Miser's Mountain? Vampire Vergrudian, that's also an interesting one. Yeah, I like that. Let's start. I agree with that one. Make that swap too. And we'll play the Misers since we have 2 Trumpeters. All right, let's update my screenshot. And this is, yeah, it's weird. I've been playing so much ranked this week that I like getting to the best of 3 mindset is important as well. And remembering that we do have some tools in the sideboard and we can make changes to try to improve our odds. So exciting. No Mountain in the opener, but no Juggler either. 2 final payments is a little much, but we're keeping this. Glad to see another land there. And we'll hold back on D. We get activation and final payment up. You're close. I think it's just an S over a Z. I wonder if they would make that fly. Well, we don't exactly have a turn 3 play anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and untap. And we'll invest in a final payment if Oppo decides to fly over the Panther. Thank you. Appreciate it. Again, early in game 1. I consider that a win to get my scene updated. All right. Interesting. They're not going to use that. They're going to do that. So we will spend 5 life to prevent 4 and take out a creature. Or try. Quench could hit us, but no Quench. And no follow. Nothing great for us here, unfortunately, either. But we do have 2 Thralls coming up and Dead Revels to get them back if they burn them out of the sky or whatever. I gotta get into the key is habit, right? When it comes to things like camera change, I just need to tie it to something. This is how I try to get into habit in my routines in life. Like, I'm now in the habit of naming the deck every time because it actually helps me with my process. So I'm going to try to make deck naming the new place where I remember to switch my cam. And I'm trying to figure out if we're just killing this. And I'm obviously saying no. And I'm not going to Thrall this time either. We're going to play a Trumpeter and just sit on Final Payment plus Panther activation. I guess with Guild Mage, they have to. Kind of want to do it this way. I'm going to do 5 life. This is a bit risky, but I'm going to kill the Clan Guild Mage and try and eat the Recluse with the Panther. Oh, first deck was a real bummer. First deck was amazing and went 1 and 3. Well, now we have to Dead Revels and probably Chump here even. I don't want to go this low. Or maybe I don't Chump. Let's see. If we take 6 and I attack with Trumpeter, we get to Revels for 2 and cast and play the Panther and threaten to take it out next turn. If they draw a green source, we're just dead anyway. If they don't draw a green source, then we survive. I think we have to count. We have to cross our fingers on them not drawing a green source and get out of this through attacking with a Trumpeter and getting our Panther back, unfortunately. Because if we could block with a Trumpeter, but then we need to draw a basic land in order to have that play. No, it makes stuff unable to block is the problem. Yeah, we're definitely bring in our Panthers. We'll bring in all of our death touching here. I'm going to say no blocks. I think we have to play it this way. We drew the basic land that would have allowed the play to work otherwise. Well, in fact, we can just do that then. Let's keep Trumpeter back. And then we even get to live through Oppo having a green source. And this will work. Do this. If they can stay off green for a couple of turns and they don't add huge pressure, then we can stabilize here, but we need some help. Well, they're not bothering with the hybrid, which is a great sign. Less of a great sign, but also not dead. Again, if we can fade the green, we have a double block on the Crusher. That's also imposing, but we are fading the greenish, And we have a mountain to even pump the trumpeter now, which is not nothing. We're definitely going to Thrall. Now, they have the ability to start hasting stuff. What does that change for us? The other thing is we need to attack, or we just are going to lose from that. I'm going to risk... God, can we risk an attack here? No, I don't think we can. We're not going to attack this time. This just threatens haste in a bad way, and double Thrall at least threatens to 1-for-1 with a Crusher or 2-for-1 with an adapted hybrid. Valhalis is asking about sponsorship stuff. Still in discussions. I don't want to tip any hands too early, but I'll just say things look good for me getting some sponsorships upcoming. A sponsorship upcoming, but nothing's... No deals yet, so not going to presume anything. Now I'm going to attack with the Thrall because we can play the kitty. And they can adapt, but if they adapt, they pretty much don't get to cast a creature with haste, and we do have the tools now to actually trade with the hybrid, and I'm actually okay with that. Like, putting Thrall and Caracal on hybrid and taking 4 allows us to Dead Revels the Thrall back and the Panther. Then the Panther can take out the Crusher, and the Thrall gets us some more life back. If they've got Colossus, or, Colossus, then we're kind of just dead. But look, they're not even attacking. Wow. What's that about? Okay. I'll take it. Nice draw, too. Nice draw. I'm going to keep plunking away with the 1 Thrall. Sure. That makes total sense. Oppo's looking to just go machine gun with counters. But the Crusher cannot machine gun these down and cannot machine gun us in time before these will take over. And the Enforcer is a really big draw here. Just remember, Clan Crusher's ability mess up blocks too late. Well, I mean, we're still going to play our stuff. I mean, I know that they've got the ability. We're just looking to get in through the air. Importantly, the hybrid doesn't have trample. So we got a lot of chumps and stuff here. And Dead Reveling our chumps back is going to be great. Like, it feels like they have to take out the Enforcer, that Death Touch just sitting there. So then we're going to get a flyer out of it, and then we get to get the Enforcer back. We get 2 Death Touchers back after this. So I think we can stall on the ground long enough to get through with these Thralls. But if they answer either of our Thralls, I think, okay, so they're going for face. Which may suggest they have some burn in hand. If they have burn in hand, we're probably just dead, so I'm not really playing around it. Oh, I see that by too late. Yeah, yeah. Communication. Man. Communication is so difficult. Another trumpeter. So we send in our 2 thralls. We go to 4. They untap and we can go to 2. And then they get enough hasty stuff. They try to get around us. And we go to 0. So far they have no trample. And no... So... plan remains the same. We're just going to send... Let's see. We go to 7. Yeah... I'm going to send both. We need these to attack to win, so we just need... we're going to need our creatures to live, and we're going to go... We're going to get our Panther back, too. Just try and load up the ground here. Okay. Let's see, what does that change? We have 7 mana. We're going to spend 2 on our Revels. If we get these back, we can replay Thrall. Thrall drains them to 5. And then if we block, we get 2 spirit creatures in the air. Oh, no, we only get 1 spirit creature. Okay. Yeah. Because the other thing we can do is we get I mean, yes, Thrall gets us 2 life, and mainly what it does is also gets us lethal attacker on the follow, and gives us some outer. Yeah, we'll play the Thrall. I think this really helps us. We're hoping to not have to block with it is the thing, but we'll see. I think we may have to, depending on how they use their Crusher here.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Thank you, Yankovic. Appreciate the sub. The resub, even. At least their play is not obvious. Incubation looking for a win and finding another Crusher. So they're going heavy on this combo. All right. Whew, that was a tight one. Not sure we were going to win that one, and was thinking about how to get us to a place where we could win games 2 and 3, but we picked that one up. That might go in our great games. That was... we really eked that one out. So... Gruel, welcome to Deadly Kitties. What do you think is a final cut here? I didn't see anything else. I don't think I want to bring in Expose to the Daylight just for that enchantment. If we were Azorius, I would, and like we were trying to counter stuff, and like that thing preventing our counter spells from working just shuts off a bunch of cards. You want to lose a grotesque demise. Yeah, there were some big creatures over there, but there was some stuff that the demise gets as well. I think if we cut, like maybe we cut a final payment, although there's some big stuff to kill. Yeah, frick, I don't want to go to 16. I think that's just feels a little too greedy to me. Oh, we're running out of time. Sorry. I'm gonna cut a payment. It was grotesque or payment. Maybe a trumpeter could have gone as well. I wouldn't cut both of them if I cut trumpeters. Unfortunately, we can't keep this. Someday we'll see a juggler. Hey, there's one, and we'll keep it. And Oppo doing nothing on 2 is also great for us. Virtually as sure as a juggler unless they're willing to use a premium removal spell on a trumpeter. Well, the question now is, are we willing to forego trumpeting, or forego juggling to prevent the engineer? And I think Exile Soul Rings is a good philosophy. Jugglers into jugglers. And if they want to fly the creeper, I think that's probably a good sign for us. Yeah, if they wanted to use their whole turn on creeper evasion, I would have been okay with that. I'm even more okay with trading a juggler for a creeper. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, Oppo's got some weird choices, but might just be the choices they had by the end of it. Yeah, we'll throw this out. Add that. Don't have Vampire plus activation. And I want to threaten activation to take out the Guild Mage. So I'm going to make... We can also just wait a turn, though. Play Vampire and then run that Gambit next turn. Yeah, we'll do that. Did we see... What tricks did we see in the first game? Because I almost want to just put, like, everything on this and take whatever trade they want. Let's just take 4. Who cares? Yeah, we did see that. That's true. There we go. I was just thinking about you, Blade Brand, and how good you would be in this spot. Oh, so good in this spot. I hope... I almost don't want to send the Juggler in hopes that they do the double block. Yeah, I'm going to send in just the Trumpeters. I really want to see a double block. No double block, so we'll save Blade Brand for defensive use on their turn. If they come up with a counter, they could just pick off the Blade Juggler. Just don't kill it. Just want that Blade Brand to resolve. Ooh, it'd be good if they could make the Blade Man not resolve. They're hovering over their cards like they could do something, but they're also taking a lot of time, which maybe just means that they hate what's about to happen. Alright, or they're just making a tough call. We'll take that Death Toucher. That seems fine. And we get... I think we just attack with everything and hope the Death Toucher is good. I guess maybe we put ourselves in a spot where we're dead to removal off of the Guild Mage. But if we are not, then what do we... You know... 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We get in for 9. 10 on the Death of the Grudian. Yeah, we have no good blocks is the problem, right? So, swing away. If they do, if they have the Collision Colossus, we could just be dead. Did they already use it? No, it was last game. Well, we can't beat that, so let's not play around it. Yeah, I guess holding back one Trumpeter could have been a good play, Tekken Shaman. I like that thought. One Chumper. It's 1 point of damage that we'd be giving up in order to prevent upwards of, you know, at least 3. Because if they give it trample, then it only prevents 3. Right. That's why it was a solid suggestion, Tekken Shaman. Huh. Feels like they could have just used that to win. On this turn. Like, I don't think we could have beaten that this turn. They may have thought that I was trying to alpha there, and that by preventing that attack, they would go on to cruise to victory here. That's just rude. Is that not... Is that... What do you think that is, chat? Safio, are you a jerk, or did you get distracted by something? I'll be nice and assume, you know, one of my philosophies in life to try and handle frustration in a spot like that moment is give people the benefit of the doubt. I'd say there's a good chance that that was just top-decked bad manners, but maybe they got distracted. But I just don't know why you'd treat your fellow human that way. Well, if Appa was savoring the moment, I hope they savor their life total going to 0 in game 3. Don't be a jerk, Safio. Oops, almost screwed that up because I was reading chat. Felon Street. Yeah, Portal could be good with the Death Chuchers, but I think they just kind of get what we want done without the cute stuff. And I'm not sure what we would cut for that. Like... Yeah, also our hand was empty, right? I mean, I'll give people credit. Like the other thing that you can get mad at, or that I if I'm not careful, I will get mad at myself about. And this could be like a fairy, but fairy can't kill the panthers anyway, so it's still a safe attack. A lot of times you're tanking. You're 99.9% sure you've got the win, but it's pretty silly to hit that 0.01%er because you didn't think it through. But I think we were just out of cards, so there was nothing to think about. I think it was just straight... If they weren't distracted, it was just straight bad manners. We're gonna demise that. Twilight Panthers seek larger prey. I like having a Mortify for their next big thing also, but we can just keep sending in Panthers. We could mortify that, but I don't really care. If they want to block with a panther, we'll make the trade and not play the Thrall. Probably means they've got big stuff coming, but we've got a mortify and a second panther, so I'm okay with that. And they had trouble with the Thrall last time, except they had the Collision Colossus they used on one, but... yeah, that's kind of along the lines of what I was expecting. We're just going to mortify this so that we're free and clear to throw it up here. Well... What's that taste? Oh! Justice. Justice. I haven't tasted that in a while. Yum. I mean, how can you savor a victory if it's not salty, right? They're going first. We have 7 draws to something to juggle. We need it in the next 2. 2 pulls at 7. 7 in 33 twice-ish. Mortify is good too, though. This is just poised to flood in a kind of an aggro deck. It's just, you're very likely to flood with these kinds of decks. Ugh. We got a mulligan. Yeah, we're just so prone to flood here that we would be in a bad way. There's the Painful Mountain. In fact, we did remove a swamp for it, so this was supposedly a swamp, but we have to keep this and hope to draw out of it now. Final Payment is useless without swamp, so let's go find a swamp first. There's one. I think there is, but I didn't even need the exact numbers. I don't think... It just wasn't there to make that play, I think. It can seem ridiculous to pay 5 to kill 2, but if we don't do it now, we're taking an extra 2, and then probably having to pay 5 for something anyway. Although we do have the Dead Revels to sacrifice something and get it back. So I'm going to eat the 5 life now, as Double D's phrases it.
I rock a mic like a vandal, light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance!
Now we have a similar question, like, is this Vandal worth mortifying? I really don't like using a Mortify here, but we have no action in hand. We need, like, what's our plan? We don't mortify it. We let them loot and take 3. We do nothing on our next turn. We let them loot and take 3. We finally play a Thrall and then we trade it for the Vandal. Like, that just seems like a terrible sequence. So, a strong removal spell to be using on something like a Vandal, but it's the nature of our hand that makes me think we need to sequence it that way, or we're giving Oppo too much value. Vampire cannot tangle with that beast, but if it attacks and they don't play something with 4 toughness, we at least get to attack back. Yeah, this is fine. Go. Gain some life there, gain some life here. And the race is on. I'm going to send the Thrall for the sure thing Spectacle, and then we'll save the Vamp for blocks. Juggle here, maybe find another creature to play. Not another creature to play, but an excellent spell for our situation. And I think I will try and get the Gravelhide after a pump. Maybe. Will that work? I'm gonna save it anyway. We risk them being able to put something out of range, but I think it's worth it. Yeah, I think we want to demise the Wrecker as the 3 power here with that's toughest to deal with. But I would have taken a snap-off Goblin too. Yeah, we risk getting blown out by a pump, but we took that risk. I took that risk on. We're going to see what happens. We could also just take this. Maybe that's safer, since they're not going to do anything here. Yeah, let's just be super safe. We're getting life gain off of this anyway. Alright, so we'll do it here now. And we need some good removal on top, or we're in the troubles. Juggler, Vamp. We can get the Vamp back and cast it. I think we have to do that. And we do that by attacking. See, how do we win, though? Because we don't need to attack to Dead Revels and get back the castable Vampire. So yeah, I think we have to do that. And then stay back and at least threaten to trade 1-for-1 with the Axebane. We are digging for an answer to Trollbred. We've got, of course, the one final payment left, and I think that's our only out because the trample makes it so that the Death Touchers aren't going to get that done. Or we could just die right here and now. Why do Oppo... I guess that's a spot where I can respect that there was some thinking to do, but I swear to God, these Oppos in there... Ooh, I top-decked... Crushing you. Let me wait 5 minutes before letting you know. Oh, we put it on the bottom? Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember now. Just play your top deck freaking answer. Why do that to me? Maybe. It's possible we could have lived there, but we were the most super of dead. Because if we live with no board and no hand, and if we draw something to remove a creature, we're just dead to the other one. Yeah, Messenger's maybe not the greatest in this matchup. Set. Just don't want to go too low on creatures. Oh, we're at 41. What didn't I take something else out? Oh, I put more in than I thought, I think. So maybe I still need to cut that demise. If we do it that way, yeah, still cut a demise. Yeah, it did have some targets. I don't know. Cut down on a trumpeter then? We added a kitty. I'll do it that way. And by saying we added a kitty, I just mean we have similar numbers of juggler enablers. No, I'm not losing a juggler. So we have a 1, 2, 3 to go here. But then we're just kind of out of gas if they play any kind of threat. That's nice, though. I'm just going to send the Trumpeter. I want to be sure to get the Juggler here. We need land, for one thing. Great. Now we get Vampire next turn. I'm going to sit back, let the Juggler threaten to trade with something across the way. And Blink makes a point about some perceived bad manners could just be Oppos trying to make sure they navigate the UI correctly. That was savage indeed. It's one of our good ones. I'll offer the Juggler for either of those. What I probably should just do for my own emotional well-being is presume I'm being slow-rolled at all times, and then when I'm not, it'll be like, oh, cool, it was just something else. Juggler all day. Okay. Well, that gets around our Death Touchers pretty handily, so... we're offering that for that. We have basically 4 pieces of removal here. And... trying to figure out how important this Brush Strider is in the scheme of things. I'm going to remove it. We're kind of playing a control game here, which is weird. It's not really what this deck is trying to do, but we have that avenue with the big flyer approach. That's not a bad pickup, and we can get sneaky too. If they want to take a 2-for-1, or do a double block here, we get to 2-for-1 them between final payment and the pump. Yeah, you can't. I was going to be, really? You're giving that to me? But then they said, no, not giving that to you. But I'll take the pump. Yeah, we'll do it here. Means we trade for this without making them spend the 6, but we got to do it. See if they have something now to kill the Panther. Only disappointed we didn't have the final payment ready to respond. Now, I'm gonna just mortify Seratok. I'm gonna keep the Trumpeter back. because I want to block the hybrid, make them spend a big chunk of mana, and then do the final payment. Now they use up their turn, and we can throw. Death Touch does work on fight. Omicron. The thing is, Oppo played Titanic Brawl at instant speed with my Death Touch activation on the stack. See if we can pick up a game. Well, that doesn't actually kill creatures, so I think we're still good here.
Duels of a well, what do we have here?
Yeah, I think we're just good, unless they can get 2 creatures down somehow. Kill the blocker and exploding planeswalker. All right, one back. See if we can get the third game as well. All right, we talked about, what was it? There was some thoughts before that we could try something like Portal. First strike with all these death touchers, and it would be a surprise first strike, but it's still a 1-for-1. It's just kind of a clever 1-for-1. The other thing, we took out 1 payment for the as opposed to 1 grotesque demise. I think oh no, the 2 payments are in. We have both of them in. Never mind. What did we take out? Well, we took out a trumpeter. All right, I'm fine with this. Let's just go back this in. I agree with GMJ Pick, who says in response to the notion that Death Touch should work on planeswalkers, that flavorfully that would be like Death Touch. That would be like Death Touch working on players. GM, did your friend say Death Touch one-shotted? One shot? What is a one-shot? That's hilarious. I think my favorite common rules misconception from people's early days of playing with their buddy and trying to sort it out all from the rules is, oh, that's funny. We're gonna go ahead and use this Mortify on this though. Sorcery can only be cast when you could cast a sorcery, and people thinking that you had to show that you had a sorcery in hand and could therefore cast it. You know, I love that. That's great. And let's just demise this dude. I'm gonna go with a Thrall here, which next turn should allow for a Juggler and a Grudian. Unless they kill it. Don't kill my Thrall. It's kind of a good power toughness combo against us, you know, kind of annoying. All right, that's a good draw. In fact, we may even save the Juggler for another day. And instead threaten a couple of... Well, actually the Juggler threatens to trade anyway, so we should do that. We'll do Juggler and Twilight Panther, though. We can do either one. They serve this a very similar role here. I'll go with Twilight Panther. It's a little more threatening to have the open mana. Oh, that's I'd never heard of that one, Dingus Khan. Line break mistakes. Rough. But we can survive. Wow, interesting. Guess trample? Oh no, does this not give trample? Well, then sure, Oppo. I'm surprised they didn't attack with both. What exactly was the thinking there, I wonder? I see. Well, they were always going to get me with tower defense. I was not playing around that. But we could, I guess we could have realized that that was such a weird non-attack that I could play around it. But to what end? You know, eventually they're going to get us with it. With the fight cards, should have left up double black or played Grudian. I don't understand how that changes literally anything. You have to explain that, Jester. What possible difference did that make? I don't follow you. Because of the instant flash. Instant flash? Oh, double activate the kitty in response. Sure. Okay, thanks. Yeah, that's fair. I just didn't understand where you're coming from, but that makes sense. No attacks. We'll stay back on D. Those Axebanes. Well, we've got infinite Death Touchers. We need to find another threat, though. We're a little threat light in this deck. Might even need to run that Angel. Maybe we should be running the Angel. True Killer Jester was saying because of the mana, and also I just let auto tap do it, but because of the mana we had available, we didn't have 2 activations. Not that it's not legal to activate twice. Well, jugglers don't even really get it done here. I mean, they get us some extra cards, but... Thought I accidentally almost threw my phone out of my pocket. Well, nothing with counters yet. Yeah, Dead Revels would be fine. Final payment, again, even that's not amazing because we just don't have anything to get through 4 toughness right now. Grudian could be attacking. Yeah, maybe we should start attacking with Grudian. I'm just being pretty defensive against possible big hasty stuff, but we have enough death touch on the ground that we can start trying to force through some damage. I just think they're... Yeah, that's the problem, right? We could attack with it, but then we're saying that we want to trade the Grudian for the runner. And honestly, we might. Yeah, if Enforcer dies, at least it creates something that can consistently start a clock. That's a good point. If we're going to attack with a Death Toucher, let's get a Spirit. I'm down. And with their fight cards, I do like having the final payment available. Although I don't think they're going to do any fighting with these creatures. The Trumpeter is no threat whatsoever, and everything else threatens to trade in that spot. Okay, I'm going to start doing it. Oop. Sometimes you can't beat Axebane beasts. All of them. All of them. 100% of the Axebane beasts. Well, that's what we were looking for. Let's send in the Enforcer. They'll probably just take it again. What do we want? Definitely the Thrall. But then... we want Grudian, I think. I guess if I had taken Kitty, we could have cast it and had it ready. I didn't really look at my mana. Probably a little bit better to have it ready this turn, but it doesn't matter too much. We have final payment. It's going to payment the Thrall, but we can just payment the runner here, and that's even better. I mean, not payment the Thrall, sorry, payment something, when I said payment the Thrall, like sacrifice the Thrall to kill something, but we just kill the thing that would, make sure it's the right one. Alright, yes. That may be game. That's a pretty backbreaking removal spell right there. I kind of like Oppo attacking with both. I'm not going to block. They can get 7 in here if they want. All right, they said no thanks. Oops. We will send in the Enforcer, though. So, they do have Pump. If they... I don't think they have it now. And I'm going to Demise now. To not let them untap. And so that if they do have it, they use their... If they Pump here... At least if they do have Pump here, it wastes it on their turn instead of ours. And then we trade 1 for 1 for their Pump instead of their creature. This also lets the Trumpeter start attacking, and we have our Miser's Mountain for the Pump. reasonable, but we still have attacks, so that's good. Exploding kitty. Kitties beat the kitty. All right, we did it. Yeah, maybe I should have done it before attacks and attack with the trumpeter. I think maybe I thought of the line after combat. But there you go. That's also why, you know, you should really think through all your lines right at the beginning of your turn to avoid little mistakes like that. But happy to come back for the 2 wins and bring this to gem power. Let's go to record. Go to 2-0. Well, because we're 2-0, and that means we have a minimum of 2 more matches to play, and we've hit noon here, I'm going to call it a stream.